Paul Godin is like most 38-year-olds. He has a young son and he works hard for himself and his family. But Paul has also suffered an horrendous injury to both of his hands while working offshore in the Timor Sea in 1997. Like most accidents, a series of events led to his injuries. A midnight crew change, an equipment failure, and a cross-threaded pipe that left him leaning out from the casing stabbing board holding a 30-foot length of 7-inch casing pipe. After 15 minutes, Paul got tired. This is his story.
So after a while I got a bit tired, and instead of holding around the side, I put my hands on top of the joint to hold it there in place to just have a bit of a breather. And then the next thing I remember was that I saw the elevators go flying past me very quickly, a lot quicker than you would, say, running the equipment normally. And as I saw that, I think I swore in that split second, and the funnel of the top drive, excuse me, came down and hit the top of the joint, and the whole rig shuttered, and I knew straight away that I'd lost my fingers. Basically, on my left hand, I lost the tops, and you can see it was almost cylindrical where it went. And the right hand, it took all three main fingers there and the top of the small one. This one here was sewn back on. Had a couple, another one sewn back on here and another one here which didn't take. Had about 21 hours the first operation, about 8 operations, until I got to the stage where that's it. But the first one was 21 hours, and I come up from that and I was deaf. My lungs were full of fluids. I had hoses and tubes and probes and that coming out of every part of my body. And it was a mess. I was thinking that I've lost my fingers. I even remember when I was going into the surgery, and the nurses there were fairly upset because it was a fair mess, my hands. And I said to the doctor, I said I would have been better off losing a leg, because all I could see was how I use my hands for everything. And he gave me a good answer. He said, yeah, you're probably right. I'd always been a sportsman, I guess. I said I was always a very physical person. That was important to me. And a lot of them options, I guess, disappeared instantly. I don't have a social life like I used to, in that I'm not comfortable going out and meeting new people all the time. I can do it, I have to do it with my job, but I have to, it's not comfortable. I can't just go back and be a carpenter. I can't go back doing high-rise construction. I can't go back as a driller or whatever, It's removed a lot of options for me, so it's very scary. But there was one thing there I remember, like when I got out of hospital, which was probably a couple of months later, and they had to do a thing for their class where what your father does for a living. They had to draw a picture, and it was like their homework, their week's project or something. And he drew a drilling rig, a helicopter, and an ambulance. It's important that you don't forget that's the reason. Like, a job is a job. There's good jobs, bad jobs, and I'm fortunate I'm in an industry that I like working in, but it is a job, and it's not worth your life, and it's not worth the grief that your family's going to go through, the financial implications. That's who you owe to. Not even yourself, but to your family. Remember the reason why you went to work.